Amazon gurus are always trying to talk to us about how easy it is to sell on Amazon. But is it really easy for everyone? The Amazon marketplace might not be for you, and I'm here to give you a few reasons why not to sell on Amazon. My name's Norm Farrar, and today we're going to be talking about 5 reasons why you should not sell on Amazon. But before we get started, I want you to subscribe to Lunch with Norm, the Amazon FBA and e-commerce collective. Now that's my Facebook group where we discuss topics like this with experts across the globe 3 times a week. So let's get started. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is I don't want you to stop doing business on Amazon. I'm not trying to talk you out of it, but I do want to bring up some concerns that you might have or just to think about before you go into Amazon. Reason number 1, it's not as easy as people make it seem. There are very few ways to truly make passive income, and an Amazon business can be anything but passive. You've probably heard that one of the most appealing parts to an Amazon business is that you can create an automated process. So once you have your first product out there, you can apply it to a second or a third or a fourth product. But this all requires oversight, trial and error, and effort in order to build it out successfully. Now, one of the things I can recommend before you do anything on Amazon is take a course. I don't sell courses. I've taken courses. In fact, I've taken multiple courses. One of the courses I could recommend, and it's free with your Helium 10 subscription. So you do need an app like Helium 10 to do keyword research. So if you pay for that, then you get Kevin King's Freedom Ticket. So I would highly recommend that. It's an excellent course. An Amazon business is not something that you can just work an hour a day on and think that, over a period of a year or two, that money's just going to come raining down. And that's one of the reasons why I love talking to entrepreneurs, new entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, people who have never been in e-commerce, but want to study, learn Amazon or learn e-com and put the time, the money, and the effort behind it. And they understand that's not an immediate profit. Like you're not going to one day, 1 month later, you're going to be in the black. You're going to be in the red a little bit of time. You're going to be in the red with your time for a little bit. You have to understand it. I call it paying our Amazon tax. But with time, effort, resources that you put into your brand and build that brand, who knows? You can really sell this a year from now, 2 years from now. Usually it takes about 2 years, 24 months, that you can turn around and sell it. Amazon businesses right now are a hot commodity. All right, let's talk about number 2. It's challenging to find the right product. I mean, back in the day, and when I talk about back in the day, like 2016, it was a lot easier. But now it's a little bit more challenging. You have to go and find categories that aren't too saturated or find unique niches within a category. We all hear that most of Amazon niches are oversaturated. And I don't think that's true. I think if you're looking at the top level niches, there's a lot of competition. However, if you dig deeper and you do your proper keyword research, you can find a lot of sub niches, and it could be just different material, different size, maybe perceived value. There's lots of different ways that you can make money, even with all the competition that's out there right now. The problem is it could take a few hours, it could take a few days. It takes time to do product research. Now, you can outsource that product research to a sourcing agent or a company that does it. If this is your first product, I highly recommend that you try to do the product research and find the opportunities yourself. There are plenty of opportunities out there. Again, if you're going to go for the main niche, or if you're going to go into the supplement market, it's going to be very competitive. But there are so many sub niches out there that you can take a look at, and all you have to do is understand it could be a change in material. It could be a change in size. It could be a change in packaging, which gives it higher perception. Anyways, the best advice I can give when you're looking for product is don't go with the lowest common denominator. Don't fight with the lowest priced product and the products that are unpackaged or just look crappy, but they get the lowest price on Amazon. Because if you're going to go and do that, all you're going to be doing is fighting for volume and you're going to make nothing. If this is your first product, I would highly recommend that you take the time and effort to go and try to find your own product opportunities. Do the research, see what it takes to find the right product. Now, there's definitely product opportunity out there. Like I said, you might have to go and find a sub niche. Where are the competitive products like supplements or baby categories, or could be in beauty or pets? But there's tons and tons and tons of sub niches out there that you can compete with. And what I'm talking about is it could be a change of material, it could be a size, it could even be in packaging, getting away from the lower, cheapest, lowest perceived value product. So if you're going out there and you're just trying to sell or move product, guess what? All you're doing is trading nickels. But if you invest in packaging or brand and you can sell it for $5 or $10 more, it's going to be all worth your while. But you're not going to learn this unless you experience it. Reason number 3 is Amazon's changing TOS. Now, TOS, I mean terms of service. If you read the terms of service word for word, you would think it's very strict. However, there's always been a bit of gray in there. Amazon thinks in black and white, and when they decide to enforce one of their terms of service that other people have been breaking, usually you'll see tons of sellers decide that this platform's not for them. But one of the things you want to make sure that you're doing is stay within terms of service. It's easy to do. There's style guides. Just because somebody, and I'll give you one example, is putting up a logo and borders and it's not a white background as your primary image, doesn't mean you should do that. Even though they haven't been caught yet, it doesn't mean all of a sudden they'll just lay down the law. And this happens all the time. So just stay within the terms of service. If you don't know about the terms of service, ask. Join a mastermind. Get to know what they're looking for, what they're not looking for. But again, the style guide will help you understand that. Not if, but when, you will receive an email that will seem unfair. All of a sudden, your listing is suspended or suppressed, but it's just part of being a private label seller on Amazon. Now, within that terms of service, and if you are one of the unfortunate ones that get suspended or get suppressed, something happens, you can receive an email that will ask for a plan of action. And what they're looking at for that plan of action is you're going to have to take some time. You're going to have to explain what you're doing. Now, sometimes they don't even explain why you've had a problem. So now you got to figure it out. And this is where having a really great network or a mastermind, a Facebook group helps out, because this won't happen to one person. It'll happen to a bunch of people. People will figure it out and go, oh, it's a pesticide thing. Oh, it's the uppercase on my bullets. I mean, there's a bunch of things that can cause a problem. Anyways, if you get one of these emails, you're probably going to have to create a plan of action. Okay, they'll ask for it. Now, unfortunately, sometimes they don't even tell you why you were suspended. So that sucks. But the plan of action, one of the ways that we learn about it is we're tight with different groups. We're tight with different mastermind, different Facebook groups, and people are talking all the time. So if there's a mass suspension, we know why. We've heard about it. And then you can create an email, send in a plan of action. Don't scream at Amazon, because it's not going to help you, but just just tell them the steps that you're going to move forward, how you're going to do it. And usually if you do it in bullet points, that will allow at least whoever's screening it to look at the main points and get back to you fairly quickly. But don't take it as they're picking on you. It goes right across the board. So I want to be 100% clear. It's not an if, it's a when. So if you don't have that risk tolerance, or if you're not prepared to do that, this is something that you really have to consider when you are working with Amazon. Number 4, the hidden fees. Now, we always talk about knowing your numbers, but sometimes They're hidden. You don't know what they are. So it might be transportation costs. It might be your Amazon costs. Maybe it's your first product and you don't understand what FBA charges are, or you don't understand about the shipment, the freight going into Amazon. It could be your packaging. It could be an insert. It could be so many little things, but you have to make sure. I just have a spreadsheet, and any small thing that comes in, even to this day, I'll have an oversight on a cost and I got to add it into that spreadsheet because I have to know 100% that I'm capturing that cost. And that's the only way I know what my profit is. And there's so many times you're going to hear these gurus talk about how much they sell, but they don't tell you what their net profit is. It's their gross revenue, top line. So anyways, when I'm talking to people, I always like talking about net revenue, not gross, or net profit, because that's with everything in, okay? That's all your cost of goods, all your costs put together, and you know exactly what your profits are. You know at the end of the day what you're putting in your jeans. The other thing with costs, you have to remember to have proper capitalization. People might go in just thinking about the inventory costs, but what happens if you have a home run? What happens if you have to buy 2 or 3 times the inventory? The other thing is how you're paying your suppliers. Are you paying them every 6 months? Are you paying them every month? Also, if you're shipping everything into Amazon and you're getting long-term storage fees, how does that look? Are you able to work with a 3PL and save money by splitting costs with the 3PL and ship over to Amazon only when need be? One of the areas I touched on was the Amazon fees. Well, there's a lot of different Amazon fees. You've got your pick, pack fees. You've got your shipping fee. When you're shipping products to Amazon, you've got that fee. You've got long-term storage fees. You have, if you're stickering anything with the FNSKU sticker, you've got to pay for that. If you're in the transparency program, you're paying for that. There's a ton of nickel and diming that you have to build in. So make sure you understand exactly what your costs are. And here's another one. So you want to create a digital coupon, or if you're doing lightning deals, okay, there's all costs associated with that. So make sure you understand that. And like I said, know your numbers. And if you don't know how to do this, there are courses on how to know your numbers. And it might not be Amazon specific, but at least you'll start to understand a bit more of what you need to know. You don't have to be an accountant, but it's always good just to take a quick course on it. All right, let's talk about the biggie, competition. Depending on the niche, competition can be fierce. For example, if I go into supplements, it could be very time consuming. It'd be very costly. So to get on the page page 1, to get your search result on page 1, and all of a sudden you get noticed, I feel so sorry for some of these people who put the time and energy into a brand to get all these bad reviews. And it's not bad reviews because they're legit. It's unethical people putting in bad reviews. Anyways, that's just something we have to be aware of. I always look, and this goes back to the product opportunity. Where are the opportunities which are going to be less competitive? And if they're less competitive and they're kind of off the radar, you're not going to have to worry as much about unethical business practices. But something to consider, we didn't have to consider this a year or two ago. Bigger brands, like we're micro brands, all of us. Anybody who's doing private label right now, we're micro brands. A few years ago, we never had to think about brands. There weren't big brands on Amazon. They were leaving Amazon, like Nike. They left Amazon because they couldn't build a brand community. Well, guess what? Amazon realized that. They gave you the tools to now build that brand community, and we're starting to see much larger brands, luxury brands, all sorts of brands come on. Now they have the marketing dollars, to dwarf us. So that's another factor we have to take in consideration. How do you compete with these big brands? So one of the things I talk to people about is making sure you build a brand. A couple of years ago, many people on Amazon had no brand. They just sold whatever. But now, I think we need a brand. Amazon's given us the tools to build brands. We have Amazon Post, we have the storefront, we have Amazon Live, we have the brand story. So you can add this all part of your listing now. And if you don't know what those are, this is where understanding or taking a course will really help. Or you can take a look and just Google brand community on Amazon or something like that. There are so many ways that you can build a customer base, even compete against these bigger brands. But you have to take the time, you have to take a risk, and you have to have some money. And none of this will happen. These 5 reasons that I've talked to you about today, if you're not prepared to do that, the Amazon platform probably isn't good for you. There are other platforms out there, and you could also develop your own Shopify store, e-commerce store. You might want to go over to Walmart. You might want to go to eBay. It all depends. But no matter what platform you want to make sure you check out the pros and the cons. So those are the 5 reasons not to sell on Amazon. And again, I don't want to discourage anybody. I just want to throw a few reasons out there in case you're looking at these videos that are showing guys leaning up against Lamborghinis, and that's just not the case. Okay, so what's holding you back from selling on Amazon? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to get more information, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and join our free Facebook community, Lunch with Norm, the Amazon FBA and e-commerce collective. The links are in the description, and thank you for watching this video and have a great day.